Meryl Streep is known as one of the greatest actresses of all time, a powerhouse of talent, a master of transformation, and a figure whose name alone commands respect in Hollywood and beyond. Her performances have earned her countless awards, critical acclaim, and the admiration of audiences across the globe. Yet behind the red carpets, the flashing cameras, and the spotlight, Meryl's personal life has been anything but simple. Recently, shocking news emerged that Meryl Streep divorced her husband almost immediately after a life-altering event. Fans and media alike were stunned, struggling to reconcile the image of the graceful, poised actress with the sudden, dramatic turn in her personal life. What could have happened to prompt such a swift and decisive move? How did a woman renowned for her composure, intelligence, and elegance reach a breaking point in her marriage so quickly? Those close to her hint that the event was not only unexpected, but deeply emotional. One of those moments that changes everything in a relationship, forcing clarity, decisions, and irreversible choices. For Meryl, someone who has lived much of her life under public scrutiny, this was a private struggle played out in the shadow of fame, and the consequences were immediate and permanent. In this story, we uncover the shocking catalyst behind Meryl Streep's split, the ripple effects on her personal and professional life, and the courage it took to make such a bold decision. It's a tale of heartbreak, revelation, and resilience, revealing that even the most admired figures face challenges that can shake the very foundations of their lives. Meryl Streep's name has long been synonymous with acting excellence. From her early breakthrough roles to her iconic performances in The Devil Wears Prada, Sophie's Choice, and countless other films, she has captivated audiences with her talent, depth, and emotional authenticity. Critics and fans alike hail her as a force of nature, a woman capable of completely inhabiting her characters with nuance, intelligence, and heart. But even a life so extraordinary in the public eye cannot shield someone from personal upheaval. Behind the glamorous awards ceremonies and polished interviews, Meryl's private life has been carefully managed, known mostly through subtle glimpses and occasional media reports. For decades, she maintained a marriage that seemed stable and enduring, a partnership that balanced her intense career with family life. Yet beneath the surface, pressures, conflicts, and unexpected events were quietly shaping her reality, forces that at times are invisible to the public but deeply felt by those living them. The event that ultimately triggered the divorce was sudden, shocking, and deeply personal. Sources close to Meryl describe it as a turning point, an incident that forced her to reassess her life, her priorities, and the boundaries of her relationship. For a woman who has spent a lifetime navigating complex roles on screen, the emotional complexity of her own life became unavoidable. The incident was not only unexpected but transformative, compelling her to make a decision that many would find difficult, even impossible, under public scrutiny. Despite the speed of the decision, those who know her emphasize that it was measured and intentional. Meryl Streep is known for her thoughtfulness, her intelligence, and her ability to navigate complexity with grace. This choice, though rapid in execution, reflected a deep understanding of herself, her needs, and the life she wanted to lead moving forward. It was not impulsive, but rather a culmination of careful reflection and emotional honesty. The divorce, coming immediately after the event, sent ripples through Hollywood and beyond. Fans, media outlets, and colleagues were stunned by the abruptness of the announcement. Questions abounded. What could have prompted such a decisive action? How did it affect Meryl personally and professionally? And most importantly, how did she find the strength to make such a bold, public decision at a time when her private life was under intense scrutiny? For Meryl, the impact of this decision went beyond the end of a marriage. It represented a reclaiming of personal agency, a reaffirmation of her identity, and a recognition that even in the face of hardship, she had the power to shape her own destiny. In many ways, the divorce was not just an ending. It was a declaration of independence, a step toward clarity. While the public sees only fragments of this story, the private reality is rich with emotion, complexity, and reflection. Meryl's experience underscores a universal truth. Even the most accomplished and admired individuals must confront moments of upheaval, make difficult choices, and navigate the consequences with courage. And it is in these moments, away from the cameras and the accolades, that the strength of character truly emerges. The story of Meryl Streep's immediate divorce is not merely a headline. It is a profound insight into the personal resilience, emotional intelligence, and decisive action that defines her not just as an actress, but as a woman confronting life's most challenging moments with grace, strength, and unwavering authenticity. The moment that led Meryl Streep to make such a sudden decision was deeply personal, yet its impact was undeniable. Those close to her describe it as a turning point, a situation that forced her to confront the reality of her marriage and the kind of life she wanted to lead moving forward. For someone who has lived much of her life in the public eye, the challenge was not just personal, but also highly visible, as every move was scrutinized and speculated upon by the media and fans alike. Despite the pressure, Meryl handled the situation with a remarkable blend of poise and determination. While many would have faltered under the weight of public attention, she remained focused on what truly mattered: her emotional well-being, her values, and the future she envisioned for herself. The decision to divorce immediately after the incident was not made in haste. It was a deliberate acknowledgement that certain circumstances could no longer be ignored or compromised. Friends emphasized that the divorce was not merely about ending a relationship, but about reclaiming agency and setting boundaries. Meryl had spent years balancing her career, family life, and public persona, often putting the needs of others ahead of her own. The event that triggered the split became a moment of clarity, highlighting the importance of self-respect and the necessity of making choices that honor one's own needs. In this way, the divorce was both an ending and a beginning, a painful but empowering step toward independence. The public response was immediate. Fans and commentators expressed shock and curiosity, while Hollywood insiders speculated on the reasons behind such a swift action. Yet those who truly know Meryl recognize the strength it took to act decisively in such a delicate situation. The divorce, though sudden, reflected her ability to process complex emotions and act with integrity, even under intense scrutiny. It revealed a side of her that goes beyond talent and fame, a woman capable of making difficult choices with courage and clarity. In the weeks and months that followed, Meryl focused on healing and rediscovery. She immersed herself in her craft, taking on new projects that challenged her creatively and allowed her to channel her emotions into meaningful work. This period of professional focus was also deeply therapeutic, providing a sense of structure and purpose amid personal upheaval. Music, theater, and film became outlets for expression, allowing her to process feelings, reflect on her life, and reconnect with her passions. At the same time, she devoted time to family and close friends, deepening bonds that had been tested by years of career demands and public attention. These relationships offered comfort, perspective, and grounding, reminding her that even in times of significant change, support and love remain constants. For Meryl, this balance between personal care and professional engagement has been crucial in navigating the aftermath of the divorce. Ultimately, the sudden end of her marriage has revealed a resilience and self-awareness that few can truly comprehend. Meryl Streep's experience serves as a reminder that even those who seem untouchable, whose lives are celebrated and admired worldwide, face deeply human challenges. Her response highlights the importance of listening to oneself, trusting personal judgment, and having the courage to take decisive action when necessary. By confronting this life-altering moment with honesty, dignity, and strength, Meryl not only reshaped her personal life, but also sent a powerful message to the world: that self-respect, clarity, and the courage to act are vital, no matter the obstacles. Her story resonates far beyond the headlines, offering insight into the emotional complexity, bravery, and determination that define her both as a remarkable actress and as a human being navigating life's most challenging circumstances. After the divorce, Meryl Streep faced a period of profound reflection. The end of a long-term relationship, especially one lived largely in the public eye, is never simple. For someone like Meryl, whose life has been defined by a mix of artistic intensity, professional discipline, and personal scrutiny, the emotional impact was magnified. Friends and insiders describe this time as a quiet but deeply transformative phase, one in which she evaluated her priorities, her desires, and the path forward. Rather than retreating entirely from the world, Meryl approached the aftermath with a mix of resilience and openness. She immersed herself in projects that allowed her to explore her creativity and emotional depth, embracing roles that challenged her and gave her a sense of purpose. Acting became more than a profession, it became a tool for understanding her own experiences, a way to channel complex emotions into art that could resonate with others. Every performance during this period carried a newfound intensity, a subtle reflection of her personal growth and emotional journey. At the same time, she dedicated energy to strengthening her personal relationships. Family, long a central part of her life, provided grounding, perspective, and comfort. Close friends became pillars of support, offering insight, understanding, and empathy. These connections were essential, allowing her to process the pain, disappointment, and grief that naturally follow the end of a marriage. For Meryl, maintaining these bonds was not just about companionship. It was about reaffirming her own sense of stability, love, and trust in others. The experience also gave her clarity about what she would no longer tolerate in her life. Having confronted the reality of her situation, she recognized the importance of boundaries, self-respect, and emotional honesty. The divorce became a catalyst for redefining her personal standards, emphasizing the value of relationships built on mutual respect and understanding. It was a reminder that growth often comes from difficult decisions, and that courage sometimes means walking away from what no longer serves us. Publicly, Meryl handled the aftermath with the same grace and poise that have characterized her career. She did not seek sympathy or public attention for her personal struggles. Instead, she allowed her actions, choices, and work to speak for themselves. By maintaining discretion, she preserved her dignity while still navigating the complexities of a high-profile life. This approach highlighted her emotional intelligence and underscored the strength required to manage both personal upheaval and public scrutiny simultaneously. This period also sparked introspection about her own life and identity outside of marriage. Meryl considered how she wanted to spend her time, what projects truly mattered, and how to balance personal fulfillment with professional ambition. The divorce became an unexpected turning point, encouraging her to embrace independence, make deliberate choices, and prioritize her emotional and mental well-being. Even in the face of heartbreak, Meryl Streep's response has been defined by resilience, self-awareness, and courage. She has shown that even the most admired and celebrated individuals must confront vulnerability, make difficult decisions, and navigate the consequences with strength and integrity. Her journey is a powerful reminder that life's most challenging moments can lead to profound growth, clarity, and empowerment when met with honesty and determination. In the months following her divorce, Meryl Streep emerged not only as an even more formidable artist, but as a woman who had reclaimed control over her life. The experience, though painful, provided her with insight, perspective, and a renewed sense of purpose. Friends describe her as more focused, intentional, and determined, someone who has fully embraced her independence and is committed to living on her own terms. Meryl's approach to this period of her life reflects a deep understanding of herself and her needs. She has been deliberate about the projects she takes on, choosing roles and collaborations that challenge her, inspire creativity, and align with her personal values. Work has become a sanctuary, a place where she can channel her emotions, process her experiences, and transform personal pain into art that resonates with audiences worldwide. Each performance now carries a subtle depth and emotional honesty that speaks to the lessons she has learned through adversity. At the same time, she has devoted more energy to nurturing the relationships that truly matter. Family and close friends have become central pillars, offering support, guidance, and stability. These connections provide a counterbalance to the demands of fame, reminding her that love, trust, and mutual respect are fundamental to a fulfilling life. Meryl has also been more open to forming new bonds, carefully cultivating friendships and professional partnerships that reflect her values and priorities. The experience has given her clarity about boundaries and self-respect. She has learned to recognize when situations no longer serve her well-being, and to act decisively rather than tolerate compromise. The divorce was a turning point that reinforced the importance of making choices aligned with personal truth, regardless of external pressures or public expectations. It demonstrated courage, emotional intelligence, and a commitment to living authentically. Publicly, Meryl has handled the aftermath with grace, refusing to let speculation or gossip define her. By maintaining discretion and focusing on her work, she has preserved her dignity while continuing to inspire millions. The world sees her as a brilliant actress, but behind the scenes, she has navigated one of the most challenging moments of her personal life with resilience, self-awareness, and poise. Ultimately, Meryl Streep's experience serves as a reminder of the universal truths of life, that even the most accomplished and admired individuals face hardship. They must confront vulnerability, and are sometimes required to make life-altering decisions. How one responds to such challenges defines character, resilience, and the ability to transform difficulty into growth. Through this journey, Meryl has not only reclaimed her independence, but also redefined what it means to face personal challenges with courage. She has shown that even amid heartbreak, life can be approached with strength, clarity, and intention. Her story is not only one of loss and change, but also of empowerment, emotional growth, and the enduring capacity to live fully and authentically. As fans and observers, we are reminded that behind the fame, accolades, and celebrated performances lies a human being navigating complex emotions, making difficult decisions, and striving to live a life that is true to herself. Meryl Streep's immediate divorce was not simply an ending. It was a courageous step forward, a declaration of self-respect, and a testament to the resilience and strength that define her both on and off the screen.